Noah Brown had been searching for days, not from a distance, not through phone calls and prayers from somewhere safe. He was on the ground, working alongside the search and rescue teams, physically present in the cold and the uncertainty. On Saturday, May 30, he found his brother, and he helped carry him home. That act, a brother refusing to let strangers be the ones to bring Matt back, says something about this family that no television show ever fully captured. This is the story of Matt Brown. Not the version the camera showed, the full one. Matt Brown was the eldest child of Billy and Mimi Brown, the parents at the center of Alaskan bush people. The Discovery Channel docudrama that followed a family living off the grid in Alaska. The show debuted in 2014 and became a genuine phenomenon. And at its peak, it drew millions of viewers who were fascinated by the idea of a family choosing a life entirely outside Maine American. Matt was there from the beginning. He appeared in 79 episodes for 5 seasons. He was the oldest, firstborn, the one who had been part of the family's unconventional life the longest. He was also, by his own account, and by the accounts of the people who loved him, the one who struggled the most. In 2019, he stepped away from the show. He entered rehab. His departure was not framed as a finale. It was framed at the time as a beginning. The beginning of a fight he needed to have. That fight went on for 7 more years. And on May 30th, 2026, it ended at the Okanagan River in Oroville, Washington. Matt Brown was 42 years old. Matt went missing near the Okanagan River. His family did not wait. Noah Brown, his youngest brother, traveled to Washington and embedded himself with the search and rescue operation. He was not a bystander, he was a participant, working the ground, present for every hour of the search. That choice, to be physically there to do the searching himself, reflects something about how this family has always operated, in the show and apparently in real life. They do not outsource the hard things, they show up and they do them. The search lasted days. On Saturday, May 30, the volunteer search team located Matt's body in the river. Noah was there. He helped pull his brother from the water, he helped bring him up the bank, and then he identified him to the coroner. About what that requires of a person, to do that for your brother, to be the one who is there, to not let him be a stranger's task. It is one of the most profound acts of love this story contains. Bear Brown, another of Matt's brothers, spoke publicly after the news broke. He described Matt's long battle with drug and alcohol addiction. He described the estrangement that had developed over the years, the distance that addiction creates between people, even people who love each other. And he shared something from their final conversation. Matt had told him he had recently fallen off the wagon, that he was struggling severely. Bear knew. He had known for a while in the way that families of people fighting addiction know, carrying the fear quietly, hoping for the call that says things are better, dreading the one that says they're not. The call that came was the one they dreaded. There is a specific grief that comes with losing someone to a battle you watch them fight. Where the ending was always a possibility you refused to fully accept because accepting it felt like giving up on them. And where the ending, when it comes, brings grief and guilt and love and relief, despair, all tangled together in a way that doesn't separate clean. Bear and Noah are carrying that now, in public, because the show made their family public. Because the cameras were there for years. Because the people watching feel, rightly or not, that they know this family. The version of Matt Brown that most people know is the one from the show. The oldest son, the one with a beard and a laugh and an energy that filled whatever space he was in. The one who seemed most at home in the wilderness, most aligned with the life his parents had chosen and built. The show, like all reality television, was a frame. And frames, as we've talked about throughout this series, leave things out. What the frame left out was the weight Matt was carrying. Addiction is not a character flaw. It is not a failure of willpower or a choice made carelessly. It is a medical condition with neurological roots, one that is more likely to develop in people who have experienced trauma, instability, or the specific pressures of an unusual childhood. Matt Brown grew up on camera. He grew up in a family whose life was, by definition, outside the structures that most people rely on. He grew up as the oldest child, with all the specific pressures and responsibilities that position carries. And he spent the last 7 years of his life fighting something that a television show could not fix and that love alone could not cure. He was 42 years old. He had been fighting for a long time. He deserved more time to fight. Here is the part of the story that is hardest to hold. Matt Brown was not alone in his struggle. His family knew. His brothers knew. Bear had spoken with him recently enough to know he was in a dark place, and still, the ending came. That is the reality of addiction and mental health crisis. That love is not always enough. That knowing is not always enough. That even when people are present and searching and caring, the outcome is not guaranteed. Noah carried his brother out of that river. That image, a younger brother physically carrying the older one home, is the most honest summary of what this family did for Matt. Not perfectly, not without the complications that estrangement and addiction create. With presence, with refusal to let him go unfound, There are families all over the country right now in the same situation the Brown family, with watching someone they love fight something enormous, hoping, fearing, not knowing which call is coming next. This story is for them too. The Okanagan County Coroner has not yet released an official cause and manner of death. The family's statements and the details from the sheriff's office paint a picture that is painful and clear. The official record is still pending. What happens to Alaskan bush people, the show that continues, that the rest of the family is still part of, is an open question. The Brown family has navigated loss before. Billy Brown, the family patriarch, died in 2021. Me Brown has battled serious illness. They are a family that has been asked to grieve publicly, repeatedly, while cameras have been present for much of their lives. How they navigate this loss and whether they choose to do it publicly or privately is entirely their choice to make. Matt Brown starred in 79 episodes of a television show. That is the public record of his life. The fuller record is quieter. A firstborn son, a brother who was loved enough that another brother drove to Washington and searched until he found him. A person who fought something real and hard for 7 years after the cameras stopped following him. Addiction does not discriminate. It does not care about television credits or family love, or the number of people rooting for you from the outside. It is a disease, and it takes people who deserve more time. If you are watching this and something in Matt's story sounds familiar, not because you watched the show, but because you recognize the fight he was in, please reach out. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call or text 988. It is free, it is confidential, the people there will answer. You don't have to be in the same place Matt was to call. You can call when things are hard. You can call when you've fallen off the wagon. You can call before it gets to the river. Noah searched until he found his brother. There are people who will search for you too. Let someone know you're struggling. That's all it takes to start.